Education across America has changed drastically over the years. Many questions have risen about what is the best plan for making sure that our graduates are equipped with what they need to face the world beyond high school. One concept that has been introduced in some high schools is that students in high school should complete a minimum number of community service hours before graduating. I'm Wendy Murray, and I'm going to give reasons why high school students should complete community service hours and some of the drawbacks that may arise. This is a topic that has been discussed at my house due to my mother being a teacher. It is also a topic that concerns nearly everyone by the fact that we either went to high school or have or will soon have a family member in high school. Community service hours will give high school students access to many areas of job opportunities that may help them in deciding what they want to do when they complete high school. It will give them a sense of belonging to the community and will give them great experience in developing skills they will need in working with people other than their peers. These are skills that students will need in order to compete in the job world and even the college community that they will be going to after they complete high school. While these are all positive ideas connected with this policy, school systems will need to be careful not to overload the students with unreasonable expectations, such as more hours than can be completed during a 4-year high school period. The student will be required to keep up with their hours and places of community service on a chart that's much like this one, where it has the place where they will be working, the address, telephone number, and the services they did while working there. Many high school students leave their senior year with no idea of what career they want to pursue when they enter college. This often means that they carelessly take on the college class load with no particular goal in mind. For many, this means taking classes that will eventually wind up being classes that will not count toward their finally decided on goal. This leads to a waste of very limited funds needed to complete a college education. If these students have been able to explore different jobs by completing community service hours during their high school years, some would no doubt have been able to make wiser choices in their college majors. The Chicago Public School Manual supports this belief with the statement that community service hours promotes career development. Hours could be completed in hospitals and nursing homes, which would give students a feel for what careers in the medical field and whether they would like to pursue this direction. Other opportunities would include hours with the local 4-H programs, where students could get a feel for fields in agriculture or working with children in shooting sports. Schools could use some of these student hours in helping teachers in the classrooms or helping coaches during physical education hours. Students thinking of a career in education could get an idea if this was the direction that they wanted to go in their career. Local attorneys will most likely take some students on and help them gain more information about a career in law. According to the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement, high school students who are required to do some amount of community service hours are 22% more likely to graduate college. This positive effect of these hours for the students will make the program highly beneficial for the student and the community they serve. Another reason for completing community service hours that is college-related is that many colleges either recommend or require community service hours in order to attend. Having gathered these during their high school years, students will have better chances of entering some colleges. Scholarships are also available, and many of them require a certain number of hours completed. In fact, according to the website of DePaul University, most of their scholarships require a certain amount of hours, and there is even one scholarship for $8,500 that is based on community service hours alone. Being able to receive some of these scholarships would be beneficial to many high school students heading into the college arena. The Chicago Public School Manual also states that community service hours promote social awareness, which brings me to my next point. When a person contributes to a project, they feel more in connection with the project and the people working in that project. High school students who do community service work will make this connection to the community. The students will have a sense of pride in that they have made a difference in their community. They will also learn how the community works. In working in many different areas, they will begin to see how all parts of the community work together as one whole unit. This will be beneficial to them in all areas of their lives. High school students, for example, are beginning voters and will be helping to vote for legislature that will affect everyone. If these students have not had much experience with older people, they may not really consider the effects a law dealing with medical problems and how it would affect everyone overall. If those same students have spent time in a nursing home facility doing community service work, they will have become familiar with the problems that face the elderly. This will make them more aware of what goes on in other people's lives, and therefore they will become more conscientious voters on election day. Community service also gets the high school students into other work situations that involve people of different ages and needs. For many high school students, they are mostly with their own peers for the majority of the time. This often creates a situation where they are not very good interacting with people of different ages or different needs levels. If these students are required to do community service hours, they will gain experience in working with people of all ages and all needs. This experience will be highly beneficial when they enter the work arena and also the college classroom, where classmates are no longer of the same age, but of all different age levels. While requiring community service hours is a great concept, there are a few problems with the program that will need close attention while developing the program. One that comes to mind is the problem of having enough community service opportunities to handle the school size. In my community, the high school averages well over 600 students in each high school grade level. Our community may not have enough opportunities to handle many high school students if they are required to do very many hours. Also, while the community service is important, it should not be so burdensome that students wind up making lower grades because of having to do hours rather than study the material covered in class. Many students also have after-school jobs, so the hours for community service should not interfere with these often much-needed jobs. For some students, placement in community service positions may be difficult because of their discipline problems in school. You simply cannot place problem children in the community to work without some careful planning. The liability would be too great. However, all of these problems can be worked through with careful planning on the part of a well-educated school board. In this speech, I have discussed how requiring high school students to do community service hours would be beneficial to the students as well as the community. Getting a feel for the various fields of work would allow students to make better decisions in choosing a career, thus wasting less money and time pursuing a career that they later discover is not for them. Learning about the lives and needs of different people in the community will make the student feel more connected to the community and to its people. This will make them more conscientious when exercising their rights, such as voting. Community service will help students learn how to work with and get along with people who are not in their peer category, often saving them grief later when they enter the workforce and have to work with all ages and types of people. Some problems do exist in this idea of requiring community service hours. However, when weighing the benefits of requiring high school students to do community service hours before graduating against the problems with this requirement, I feel strongly that there is much more to be gained for implementing this program than that of not using it at all. Creating a program that would give students the experience of working in the community would be a great benefit to the student and to the community they serve. Thank you.